Focus of this video is to look at a nutrition facts panel that must be included on nearly all packaging. There are a few exceptions. You can look at those exceptions on the guidelines that are posted in the class on Canvas. It's either in the lecture notes or it's in the food packaging assignment. So let's take a look carefully at what exactly we need for the nutrition facts panel. First of all, the placement of this panel. It must be either on the product display panel. This is the front panel that we haven't gone over yet in lecture, but it is the panel that is going to display the product, the amount of ingredients, and all of those pieces of information. Second possibility, turn the package to the right, go to the right on the package, and on that adjacent panel, the nutrition facts can be placed. Now, if there's not enough room there, it is okay to go to yet the next adjacent panel. So it would be actually, if it was a box, it would be on the back side of the box, on the opposite side of the product display panel. Okay, if you have even more space constraints, think candy bar or some such type packaging like that, then it has to be in a place that is visible to the consumer. Okay, it must always be set off in a box. There are no strict guidelines as to what size border you have to use for this box, but it must be in a box. It can be parallel to the product display panel, such as what you're seeing on the screen right now, or it can be perpendicular, which would mean that it would be turned on its side so it's the long way across the package. One of the rules for this product or this nutrition facts panel is that you do not include the product name in it. Font is very specific in this respect. It must be a font that is easily read by the consumer. FDA suggests Helvetica. The title, Nutrition Facts, must be the largest font on the panel. While it has to be large, you don't have to go super large with it. It just has to be bigger than an 8-point font and bigger than the rest of the font used in the panel. Let's take a look at the required nutrients that we have here. And some of these nutrients and the way they are displayed, serving size, servings per container, all of that has changed over the last couple of years. Manufacturers are required to make the change to their nutrition facts labels later this year and into 2020. So pull those up and review them. We're not going to be very particular about them with this project. We're going to go with the hard, fast rules that have been in place for a number of years. So let's look first at the calories. If there are less than 50 calories, round the calorie value to the nearest 5 calories. So if it's like 47 calories, you would round down to 45. If it's 48, you would round up to 50. If it is above 50 calories, you would round to the nearest 10. So now I look at this 90 and wonder, is it 85, 86, 87, or is it truly 90? It would be rounded to the nearest 10. Okay, moving down on our nutrient facts label, we have total fat. We are going to add up all of the fat in grams that are in our sweet potato recipe for our project. Okay, then as far as the percent daily value goes, go to the appendix in your textbook and find out what the total fat daily value is and calculate. You take the amount in your recipe divided by the recommended daily value times 100, and that will give you the percent daily value that you will use. The majority of our labels are based on a 2,000 calorie diet. If you choose to use something else, you would have to make sure you note it down here on the bottom of the nutrition facts panel. Okay, if you can separate the fat out, you can list it. I didn't see any hard, fast rules about making sure that saturated and trans fats are labeled, but you can include them. If there's less than 1 gram, just report it as 0, and then you can do a 0% daily value over here as well. Cholesterol, report also as possible. Okay, sodium, there really wasn't a lot of guidelines on sodium, but figure that out. It's pretty much the same as for the fat. Total carbohydrates, this is going to be all of the carbohydrates, including dietary fiber that you will have in your recipe. Be sure to separate out the dietary fiber from the sugars. If you use the USDA nutrient database to figure out the sweet potato recipe, then it will be specified in the nutrients that are provided there as to what's fiber and what is sugars. So you will want to see if there's dietary fiber, because I'm pretty certain that there is some in the sweet potatoes. Protein. Protein is one that changes by age range and is also very expensive to determine. So the FDA decided that they didn't have to, manufacturers didn't have to record a percent DV for protein. Just listing the amount of protein in grams will be sufficient. Vitamin A and vitamin C are required to be on your label. Calcium and iron are required to be on your label. If you choose to put potassium on your label, put it here underneath sodium. If you choose to put any other vitamins and minerals, you would list them below these 4, which are required. Okay, you can go and check out the guidelines yourself. Check out the textbook. If you, if what I have explained is not sufficient, and make sure that you have the nutrition facts panel for the sweet potato recipe complete and ready to go over on Wednesday when we get back to class. Good luck and have fun.